Hello guys and welcome back. This is Mr. Siege. Now, for the first time on Siege Watch, I want to dive into an altar battle. And as you all know, altar battles are where siege units absolutely shine. And you'll see the crazy amount of siege units in this altar battle. Engineering marches, ranged marches, whatever you want to call them. Obviously, we don't know what troops are in these marches yet, but hopefully we can go in, have a look, see what people are using, see which commanders people are using also in their gear. Now, this is a battle between TL68, they're paired with OM28 against ULT and 32BR, and a pretty crazy battle. Although I do know a guy called Gumbo who's in this KVK, and he said it is their downtime at the moment, so they were struggling a little bit, and that's not the ally side, as you can see in the blue, it's the team in obviously the white. Now, I'm constantly contacting everyone that has a tower, or at least trying to get everyone that has a tower to show me their report, show me their gear. Obviously, it's quite early in the altar battle so far. I think they've only been fighting for like half an hour or so there's not a lot of reports out there yet, but obviously I sped this right up so you don't have to spend loads and loads of time watching a full altar battle, because obviously it does take a while. I watched most of it, to be fair, and there's some really big accounts. As you can see, I keep popping in and picking out each individual tower. Loads of Gauge Armadas and Cordobas, which you'd expect because that is the best ranged march. Can't see any actually Margarets on the field yet. Now, Margaret Cordoba is really quick and really useful in altar battles because you can get there a lot faster. But I suppose if you're running two siege marches, which you might be, you're going to have to split those up. You might run your Gauge Armada with Baba and Margaret with Cordoba, or if you've got Stephen and John, obviously we'd expect to see some Stephen and Johns on the field too. And obviously picking out weaker marches with Stephen and John can work out really, really well, and you can get a lot of kill points by that. As you can see there, TL68, ULT, OM28, and the same over there. But there is 32BR there also, which is on the ally side, which I'm showing you right now, the ones in the blue. So we've got some reports. This is Gumbo first of all. He's very keen. He's actually got 1 billion KP in a KVK just using siege before. Well, over 1 billion KP. I think it's like 1.2, 1.3. So pretty crazy. And as you can see, he's got some decent gear there. An actual engineering crit horn, which, you know, not many of those about, believe me. So yeah, good gear on Gauge Armada, and he's using Gauge Armada with Cordova at the moment. Some decent inscriptions there. Nothing rubbish on that at all. Line shot's very, very good. His stats aren't crazy for siege. You know, 15% or so, with a little bit of extra damage, all damage. And now what I was noticing here, which I thought was quite strange, is I can actually see marches walking back. Now, I don't know if you're familiar with altar battles, most of you should be, but really you should be killing your marches off. So seeing people walking back like that with a little bit of health on your marches and not killing them off is kind of crazy in my opinion. You know, you need to be killing them marches off. So, I mean, that's only a full march here, look, from it, you know. A big shout out to you, mate. Why are you sending your march back at full health? You know, there's some decent health marches here. They're walking back instead of killing their marches off. And that can cost you an altar battle quite easily. So as you can see, there's an absolute ton of towers here. And we've got another one from Gumbo here. He's actually got his John out now. And his John's got also pretty good gear on also. You know, full legendary set. And again, decent inscriptions. Probably better siege stats on this one. You've got about 16-17% worth of stats. And raised is good for obviously skill damage. John does skill damage, so that John and Stephen's going to pop off pretty well there. And both sides have obviously got, yeah, a ton of siege towers, and they are actually using siege in these towers by the looks of it. No one's using anything else. Let's take a look at Gumbo's reports. He's got some pictures there on his album. As you can see, some crazy siege reports he's had in the past, possibly from other altar battles. And this is where siege absolutely shine. Obviously, in the balls there, they're not moving about too much, where they can be in a stationary position, just popping off, is where you can get loads and loads of kill points from. Now, obviously, most KVKs, it doesn't happen all the time where you get altar fights. I mean, I've not had a proper altar fight for a long, long time. Now, it's either completely one-sided or another team doesn't turn up, or like I say, one team's in downtime. Look at this guy as well. He's using a siege tower. Really crazy kill points on that one. Bit of a Kraken. So there's some high power accounts with decent kill points from this 1875 Fox, he's looking very strong. So at the moment, the Ally side are totally controlling the field, and they're in a great spot where they're holding position and they're just not letting the white side here pass at all. Holding that ground with the towers and a bit of a ball, they've got no chance, especially when they're low on numbers. But what I did notice, obviously, there's still a few towers just like littered around. Now, this is a problem because this ball has moved fairly fast. That's a bit of an issue for siege towers who can't really dismantle, catch up, and get back into the fight again. Not all the time, anyway. Sometimes you do that and then it pushes the other way, and it can be a bit of a struggle. So another decent report from Gumbo, 10 to 39k, 374%. Obviously, great reports. Most of these reports should be positive, obviously, unless you get massively swarmed down early on in the fight. But yeah, 41 to 187k there for his Gauge Armada Cordoba. And like I say, that for that, the meta march, you know, it's getting some good results as you'd expect from this sort of fighting. Now, the Allied team pretty much pushed them back right to the pass there, but they've got quite a big ball going now to push back in again. And if they're not careful, you don't push them siege towers back, you're going to get caught out. Now, Oda Yan Tiepo, he has got pretty decent report here, 40k to 261k. He's been fighting for a while now. Let's check his gear out. Again, full legendary siege set with 1 crit piece, not bad at all. A decent set of inscriptions. Okay, I'd recommend all those pretty much. They are good. Brutal's obviously 3.5 attack and Well-Clad 3.5 defense, and the rest of them obviously pretty well. Pretty much in my top 5, I think, from my last few videos. And this guy, another whale from that Allied side, so hopefully he'll get back in touch soon. Now, I've contacted so many of these siege towers, but very few actually replied to me. There's a couple that replied to me as I was just sort of finishing the video, finishing the altar battle. Now, I know it's sort of full on and you're going to be pretty busy. You can see a Margaret Cordoba there now actually as well. So I do understand there's a lot of fighting going on. But guys, if you don't reply, you can't show everyone your gear, armaments, and your reports on Siege Watch. So it's probably worth replying, and you can get yourself seen on YouTube, I guess, then. Not that there's that many people watching these videos, but anyway. And yeah, the allies obviously still pew-pewing away. That Margaret Catherine that was there soon got killed. But, you know, if you get troops in melee range of a Margaret Catherine, it's going to go down very quickly. It's a kind of a squishy march, to be honest. I mean, Margaret Cordoba's squishy compared to your Gauge Cordoba. Right, let's have a look at this one. Another full siege set with a horn and drum. Now, drum's a bit of an odd one to run during a altar fight, because obviously you're only going to buff other allied troops, not your own troops, but, you know, it's helping allies, so, you know, not too bad. Merciless, you guys know how I feel about Merciless. And especially for altar fights, it's a waste of time. You don't want to run Merciless when you're going to be in contact with enemies all the time, especially when it's attached to Cordoba, who does AoE, and you're going to be in contact with the enemy pretty much most of the altar battle. And you're only benefiting from Merciless for the first 10 seconds of the battle, so you shouldn't be using that. I mean, you should have something better like ballistics. But either way, he's getting some good reports because it doesn't really matter that much, let's face it. 49k to 288,000 there, and you know it's a good length of the battle there that he's actually been fighting for. So for a decent extended battle, he's got obviously a great report. 566% is nothing to be disappointed about. Now Gabriel replied, or Gabriel, he or she used Margaret Cordoba, and obviously it was very successful for them, even with this gear, which isn't crazy. You know, pretty cheap set. This is full crit epic set with a legendary weapon, and obviously a horn and ring there, which is also pretty good. Tremors and resistant are okay. Really good stats on this march actually, with a bit of all damage there. So actually pretty decent set of equipment you've got there in your march. You know, not crazy, not full legendary set, but still performing pretty well. So you can see here that the white team are obviously retreating. They're sort of getting a bit of a ball because there's not long left on the altar now. Only 25 minutes. So if they do want to take the altar, they have got to make a proper push. So I guess they're just regrouping. But, you know, regrouping is a good idea, but you are giving the time for the enemies to regroup too. So possibly not the best option rather than just keeping going. But like I said, he is in his downtime. Now, Moele, he's got a pretty decent set of siege gear here. Couple of epics that aren't crit, but you know, Horn and Plume as well on there. Horn is very, very good on a siege march. Decent siege stats, nothing crazy for the inscriptions. A little bit of march speed as well, which does help on the field. Although to me, I wouldn't go for march speed unless you've got it, I suppose. And really good reports, 49k to 275k and 117 to 404. That's 8 million KP from that report, which is pretty decent even for an altar battle, to be honest. But yeah, I have seen some crazy reports from altar battles, and even I've had a 20 million KP report from an altar battle. That was a long time ago, mind you. So just waiting for the white team to actually engage. Wow, look at the towers now. So that's pretty menacing. I wouldn't want to be the first march to engage this group of towers. It looks like it's mainly made up of towers, to be fair. And not too much longer left on the altar. So yeah, they're making a move. Let's see how they can do. I mean, to be honest, I think the best thing to do here is to get straight into that ball. Anyone that's got a siege march on the white team here should probably just be directly targeting a siege march on the enemy team to take them towers down, because obviously they're doing a hell of a lot of damage, a hell of a lot of debuffing. So this is blank gaming, 59k to 253k. That's a very good result. His first fight with siege as well, so I'm sure he'll be very, very happy using it in the future. Whether we use it on the open field, I don't know, but altar fights, obviously, like I say, they do shine. It is just so many people are using these in altar fights now because they know how much KP they can gain. They know how effective it can be in ball fights like this where they're just not moving. And the melee, the field marches in the middle here, in the sandwich in the middle between all these towers, are surely just getting hammered. I mean, it'd be really interesting to see some of the reports from these guys in the middle of the field. Now, I've seen someone running Attila, and obviously that's probably to increase their counter-attack to resist the towers a little bit. But again, they did get pushed back to the pass. So it doesn't look like they're going to take this altar. They keep trying, keep pushing forward, but obviously inevitably keep getting pushed back again and again. Now, I think they just turned up for this for just a bit of a fight. And, you know, who wouldn't want a little bit of a fight? Even if you are outnumbered and you know you're outnumbered and you know it's your downtime, if you can put up some kind of a fight, it's much worth doing. Obviously, everyone wants to get kills. Everyone wants to have some fun in KVK. Now, this is Buster. He was showing me some reports from the last altar battle, and he's had some really crazy ones, which obviously he said last week. 23 million KP in a single report. And this is a different report to the other one. I did check the timings on this one, which I thought, you know, maybe it's the same report that he's just sent a couple of minutes later or half an hour later. But yeah, two separate reports. They were absolutely crazy. 20 plus million KP per report. And this was on the same altar battle. So this guy got a minimum of 40 mil KP, almost 50 mil KP. And, you know, God knows what else he got from this altar battle. But yeah, absolutely crazy reports. So well done to you. And I'll be interested to see your equipment later in the video, which we will. This guy didn't want to show me his equipment or anything like that. So fair enough. And this is Jan Oda again. I think we've seen this one before. 9 mil KP there. And Gumbo's just sending some more reports through now. 639% there, which is pretty mad again. 15k to 90k. 9k to 50k on that one. But as we know, they are getting pushed back a lot. Gumbo's obviously on the white team that we're seeing in this altar battle. They're getting pushed back a hell of a lot. So they're going to have to dismantle, put up again, dismantle, put up again. And it is very, very hard to get decent amount of kills when you keep on to do that all the time. Tartar, still trading positive because his siege is broken, he says. And I think this is an altar count. So for an altar count, it's doing very well. Tempered, I wouldn't be using that, but the rest of them aren't too bad. Skill damage resistance, I mean, that's only going to make a difference if you're getting swarmed. And if you are getting swarmed, there's not a lot you can do about it. That 4% skill damage resistance isn't going to matter too much. But to be fair, decent siege stats on that one. So that's an altar count. Doing pretty well. This is Jan Tiepo again. He killed his march off, which is good. That's what you should be doing, guys. You shouldn't be hanging about, you shouldn't be sending your marches home when they've got low health. You need to be killing them off, and you can get back out on the field quicker and help your alliance out, your kingdom and your campmates. Don't be sending marches with any sort of health left back and then replacing them. It doesn't make sense. Kill your marches off. So this is Buster's gear, which I'm quite interested in. It's really, really good gear. That's some of the best siege gear I've seen. You know, for one set, that's way better than mine. Fully crit engineering set, all level 4, apart from the boots there, which are level 3. Yeah, really crazy set. You're looking at almost 120% siege stats. 32% march speed on this set, which is absolutely mad. So GG's to you. You've got an absolutely crazy siege set there, and no wonder you're slaying. Again, you've got Merciless in your inscriptions, and for an altar battle, it's totally pointless. Buster, 206 million kills he's had from 1 KVK. That's an absolute massive Kraken. 244 mil power as well. So yeah. Good going, you know, and, you know, no wonder you've got a siege march like that. You know, maybe you don't use it that often as well. Maybe you only use it in altars, but you know, as a Kraken like you obviously are, that's absolutely nothing to you. Spending all that money on siege gear, all those gem investments is absolutely mad, because it's very costly siege gear, as you guys know. If you are running a siege march, getting that legendary equipment is very, very costly indeed. So guys, Altar has about ended, and no surprise, the ally team here have taken it. They're going to kill those stalkers, and they've won. So just one last report to go through. Neko did contact me, and he's had an amazing report here. 9 mil KP from that one. So let's go and take a look at the gear. Looking really good, apart from obviously the siege weapon, but still a really good set with horn and ring. Can't go wrong with that. Your inscriptions are very good, in fact, and your stats are very good too. So well done there, and no wonder you're pulling out such a good report. So guys, I hope you enjoyed this one. As you can see, altars are absolutely crazy these days with the amount of siege marches, because they perform so well in these scenarios. So guys, I hope you enjoyed. This is Mr. Siege. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and bye bye.